All right. Testing. 1, 2, 3. What is up, everyone? This is a bit of a different stream today. We are doing some Pokemon Champions. Game's a little loud right now, so I'll bring it probably down to like there-ish, maybe. But, as you can see, we are doing the Global Challenge today. Now, let me just real quick go back, because there is one thing. I want to kind of go over the team that I am using. So, this is the team that I will be using today. I used it a lot last night on Showdown, and it was doing really, really well. I have not tested this live on Ladder, and it is already my team that I've locked in for the Global Challenge. But I am quite confident. The only thing that I do need to say is that this technically is not the exact team I was using on Showdown last night, as in that version, instead of Gyarados, I had a Hisuian Arcanine to kind of better my matches into Mega Charizard Y teams. It's really the only Pokemon that I've been having any real challenges with so far is Zard Y, and even then, it's more of an annoyance than it was a true problem matchup. But I started on a brand new Elo last night using pretty much this team, and I rose all the way up to 1450 with it pretty quickly. So I am at least confident that this team will be able to do a little bit of stuff, and more importantly, at the very least, it is a very fun team. So I'll kind of go into why I think this team is good, why I liked using it last night, and why I'm excited to hopefully be able to showcase its strengths, maybe a little bit of its weaknesses. And first and foremost, we got to go with the star of the team, our Mega Lucario. Now, this is a different type of Mega Lucario. This is a special attacking Mega Lucario, not a physical attacking. A lot of people run physical Mega Lucario, and the reason why is because of its slightly higher base attack stat. I believe it's 145 instead of 140, which is what its special attack is. So it hits slightly stronger, and close combat is a much stronger move than Aura Sphere. But with that being said, there's one big problem with Mega Lucario being a physical attacker, and that is it is very easy to intimidate. Now, you can't intimidate it the first turn it does something, as it does get Inner Focus, which, as we can see, I am not running, and there is a reason for that. But Mega Lucario is able to pretty easily, get intimidated after a single turn, and because of that, it often ends up taking, the main thing is that Chople Berry Kingambit with even slight defense investment is able to always survive a intimidated Lucario close combat, even if it's adamant. Meanwhile, unless Kingambit is running, I think it's 18 special defense investment and max HP, unless it's running that with Chople Berry, it always dies to a Aura Sphere, and it's much harder to lower special attack. So that is why I'm using special attacking Mega Lucario instead of physical attacking. It also just hits like an absolute truck. It's very hard to slow down. However, I do need to mention the one pretty notable thing about Mega Lucario, and that is its lack of crazy bulk as well as lack of spread damage. Now, this isn't that big of a deal. There's definitely some crazy mons that do huge spread damage right now, that we'll inevitably run into things like Mega Floette, Mega Charizard Y, but for the most part, a lot of Pokemon in this format are single target attackers or are using things like Rock Slide, and Mega Lucario is able to take advantage pretty heavily of the just sheer amount of the weaker power level, the weaker survivability of this format. Just let special Mega Lucario just chunk through things after a nasty plot. Like, a lot of things that don't resist just straight up die to an Aura Sphere or Flash Cannon after a nasty plot. And just overall, Mega Lucario is very hard to slow down. Now, the reason for Steadfast is because of our second Pokemon on this team, Hisuian Zoroark. Now, Hisuian Zoroark is another strong Pokemon, but it is able to be very easily played around without very specific things on your team. Hisuian Zoroark has the ability Illusion. Illusion, as many people know, but maybe not everyone, Illusion is able to disguise Hisuian Zoroark as whatever the final member of your party is. So, for example, if I choose Hisuian Zoroark and Basket Legion as my lead, and then Whimsicott and Lucario last, Hisuian Zoroark will be disguised as my Lucario. The reason why this is important, and why Steadfast is important on Lucario, is it's less so important for, online ladder battles and even the global competition, but for in-person events with open team sheets, Lucario has the ability Inner Focus as well, which activates if it's intimidated. It essentially blocks Intimidate, and it shows what Standard Lucario's ability is. And because Hisuian Zoroark is almost always a lead Pokemon if you're bringing it at all, it is essentially able to reveal, hey, this isn't a Lucario, this is a Zoroark. If you lead something like, say, Incineroar with Intimidate, or if it does activate, it's, hey, this is Lucario and not a Zoroark. So that is the reason for Steadfast. For this, it probably would have been slightly more worth to use a, a Inner Focus Lucario, but Steadfast is able to just not interact with Intimidate, which is the main reason why it's Steadfast right now. Plus, I mean, the very slight chance of getting a speed boost on Lucario can just put this thing into the absolute disgusting realm of impossible to take care of. Our third Pokemon is Aegislash, which is actually a Pokemon from Sword and Shield for me. And Aegislash is very good in this format because of how common Pokemon like Sneasler are, weaker Swift Swim based Basket Legions, which aren't very common, but they do pop up from time to time. Aegislash is pretty much able to just be a guarantee for Sneasler endgame to end up being a winner. It's also just a really good clean up mon in the back because of its priority Shadow Sneak. I have a spell tag to make it slightly stronger, and instead of Poltergeist, I despise moves that can miss, and I despise Poltergeist even more because if they don't have an item, you just can't use the move at all. And a lot of items in this format end up getting deleted. So things like Citrus Berry, Lumberry, Focus Sash, White Herb, and without an item, Poltergeist fails, and that feels really bad. So instead, I'm using a Swords Dance, Iron Head, Shadow Sneak version of Aegislash. This is also really good against Mega Floette teams. It's able to chunk them pretty quickly, destroy them for a lot of damage. And for that reason, it fits on this team really well. And for our third and final ghost type, we have Male Basculegion. This is my endgame sweeper, my destroy everything kind of mon. It outspeeds a majority of the format. It does still get outsped by things like max speed, timid Mega Gengar, things like unburdened Sneaslers, things like I believe Mega Aerodactyl outspeeds, Mega Delphox outspeeds, because this hits, I believe, a speed stat of 195 with the Choice Scarf. But a very big thing about Mega Basculegion, or sorry, not Mega Basculegion. This thing's pretty much a Mega though. The thing about Basculegion is that almost all the mons that outspeed it die to moves like Aqua Jet. Adaptability Aqua Jet, adaptability Wave Crash, adaptability Last Respects. This thing is able to be a lead, it's able to be a endgame sweeper, it's able to play cleanup, it's able to chunk big damage. It does pretty much everything that you'd ever want it to do. A lot of people know this set, it's nothing new. This thing is the absolute GOAT for this team. It is why this team is able to function as well as it does. Alongside our fifth mon, which is Whimsicott. Now, Whimsicott, very similar to Hisuian Zoroark actually here. This is our main reason to stop people from clicking moves like Protect, and that is because of the threat that Encore provides. Now, obviously, it's a Prankstermon. Encore does not work against dark types, and while there are a couple of dark types in this format, the two biggest of which being Kingambit and Incineroar, those two want absolutely nothing to do with a Mega Lucario. Whimsicott also, with Encore, is able to, or sorry, not with Encore, with Tailwind, is able to make Mega Lucario much scarier, because as you can see, this is a modest Mega Lucario. It is not a timid Mega Lucario, so it's not getting that slightly faster speed stat, which is important because without Tailwind, I believe 3 points. It's either I think it's 2 points from speed time, 3 points from outspeeding base 100 timid Pokemon, things like Mega Charizard Y, and just a lot of those faster, or not faster, but those base 100 Mega Threats, Mega Kangaskhan, things like that. And Lucario, without Tailwind, is unable to outspeed a lot of those mons. And with Tailwind, it just allows for that power boost to be that much scarier. Allows me to get through certain endgames that otherwise seem kind of locked in place, as well as just allow Mega Lucario to start hitting a bit faster. Now, the last mon on the team, the newcomer to the team that I probably won't be bringing too much as this core 5 is just so strong together. Triple Ghost with Fighting Steel and Grass Fairy is very hard to play around because the dark types that are strong against these three want nothing to do with Lucario. And the main thing though is I am pretty weak to fire types. Obviously Basculegion is able to deal with them pretty easily as well. Incineroar doesn't want to fight Lucario. But Mega Charizard Y is a little bit of a problem. Initially, I was using Hisuian Arcanine, but I don't have access to a Hisuian Arcanine currently, and I didn't want to try and trade it through Pokemon Home and then get it on my system and everything. I figured it was just going to be a little too much work, and I just wanted to be able to start streaming now. So we are using instead a Gyarados with Lumberry. Now, obviously, it is still going to be weakened to Sunny Day. However, there are a couple of things that that Gyarados has that allow it to still function as a decent enough counter into Mega Charizard Y. And the first and most important part is that secondary flying type, actually. One of the main Pokemon that runs alongside Mega Charizard Y is Chlorophyll Venusaur. And Chlorophyll Venusaur, with Sleep Powder, is able to cause a lot of problems very quickly. Now, obviously, while I don't have a or what am I trying to say? I'm not going to be outspeeding Mega Venusaur anytime soon. I do have a Lumberry, which allows me to take at least one Sleep Powder, hit Charizard Y with a Waterfall, which does do decent damage, and essentially it allows Basculegion to play cleanup later in the game with Aqua Jet, unless they're running crazy defense, which is just very uncommon in this format. This also gives me another Intimidate, or sorry, not another, but my only Intimidate Pokemon, which is important as it's able to deal with things like the Garchomps and Aerodactyls that typically are being ran as well in this format. With Dragon Dance, I'm able to kind of put myself in situations where I am able to boost up my attack and speed, let me clean up games that way if needed, or just start steamrolling early. And we have Crunch, just for the couple of random ghost types that I don't want to be dealing with, Basculegion being a major one. Intimidate, sadly, I think still results in me getting knocked out by a Choice Scarfed Basculegion, and obviously I'm a bit slower than a max speed Adamant Choice Scarfed Basculegion, but I am really not planning on bringing Gyarados that much. It's really just here for Mega Charizard Y teams. Obviously, it's hard to tell if a team is going to be Mega Charizard X or Y. Y is the much more common one and will typically have more Sun Pokemon on it, but occasionally it'll be a Mega Charizard X, but Gyarados is able to function pretty well into those anyways, thanks to Intimidate still. So it's not that big of a problem that I figured I would mention it, but this is the team. I think it's a very strong team, and let us just get into a couple of battles here. So I have 15 battles today. I will probably do most of these, but we'll see. And this is one of my first ever global challenges. Fun little fact for you. All right, let's see here. What do they got? This is going to be a rain team with... Okay. Mega Dragonite is almost certainly the Mega here. There's nothing else that can even Mega Evolve. Against teams like this, I really like this lead and disguising Zoroark as Basculegion. Alternatively, I mean, I could bring Aegislash here for the Sneasler, but it doesn't do that well into Meowscarada. Gyarados doesn't really feel that good either. I could also consider Lucario lead, but Lucario isn't going to be doing that much damage to start off with, so I think I want to do this. Gives me access to Icy Wind, it gives me access to Bitter Malice to start chunking things. I feel like this is a decent enough play. Alright. Gonna be a Pelipper Sneasler lead, so we are gonna have to deal with this Sneasler. Now, I could protect here, calling the Dire Claw or Fake Out, and then maybe just Bitter Malice for damage onto the Sneasler, or Icy Wind, maybe. The problem is if Pelipper Tailwinds, but I think I need to make a play here. And if I'm gonna be making this thing stronger or faster anyways, I'd rather do this. And now, because they've locked into Fake Out, I can just Encore them next turn, so overall, I think this was the right play. There is the White Herb. It's nice to get rid of it now. And then we are going to see Tailwind. That's not that big of a problem. There is something to say about maybe Encoring the Pelipper here. But this Sneasler is a bit of a threat, so I think Encoring it and probably doing Bitter Malice into the Pelipper slot, just try and get rid of the potential rain. And yeah, the Sneasler's essentially forced to switch out next turn, so I'm not that scared of it. It definitely was going to try and I think Dire Claw, and now with Bitter Malice, just deal a lot of damage to this Pelipper. Okay, they are going to Icy Wind as well, which isn't that big of a problem. I do need to be aware of the potential Megas still in the back. Icy Wind very likely doesn't kill, but Hyper Voice definitely does. And it also, other than maybe Aegislash, I'm able to do decent here. So we don't want to see Aegislash be the switch-in. It is going to be Masquerada, which I'm completely fine with. And we're going to see Protect coming out from the Pelipper while I set up my Tailwind. And Hyper Voice. So here, this is a tricky turn. I can maybe Moonblast. I think I like Moonblasting it into the Meowscarada slot, but the problem is, actually with Tailwind up now, I don't really see that big of a problem with doing this play, and maybe switching to Lucario, or maybe just Protecting here. I think Protecting here makes enough sense. So we're gonna use Protect. Gonna see Flower Trick. Get rid of the Dark typing, so I might not KO here with Moonblast, but yeah, just barely not gonna land the KO, which is a little unfortunate, and we're gonna see Icy Wind. Now, how many turns left of their Tailwind is there? Is it over this turn? It does end this turn, so I can Encore this Pelipper and just Hyper Voice. That way they can't get Tailwind back up, or better yet, I can Moonblast into the Pelipper and Bitter Malice into Meowscarada. This way I'm always finding a KO outside of something like a double Protector switch. And so long as this Pelipper is not able to get up another Tailwind, I should be golden. And yeah, Bitter Malice is going to be able to KO the Meowscarada. Bitter Malice there also, just in case of Wide Guard Pelipper, which I don't think this Pelipper is, but it's still a good play to make regardless. Rain's also going to stop here, so I feel like they are going to want to switch this Pelipper out this turn. Here, I think my best play is probably, I can either go for the kill on the Sneasler. I think I Hyper Voice now, because if Pelipper switches, Dragonite comes in, The problem is I want to keep my Whimsicott alive at least one more turn. So I think I protect Whimsicott here and Hyper Voice and accept that Zoroark probably goes down here. Yeah, Pelipper does switch out into Dragonite. Oh, Basculegion! Okay, so they didn't bring a Mega. This lets me stall, I think, my last turn of Tailwind as well. And probably gonna see a Dire Claw here, yes. So they do lock into Dire Claw. And Tailwind does end here, so I'm able to just instantly reset it up. And also get some good chip into this Basculegion. And I'm pretty much just trying to get to a point where, okay. Protect Basculegion, not a big problem. That means that I'm always going to be outspeeding this thing unless they get Tailwind back up somehow, which I don't think is going to be happening. But Choice Scarf Basculegion looks really good endgame here now. And I don't think there's really anything else that they can do. So I'm going to go into Basculegion, and I think I'm able to just start clicking Last Respects into stuff now. So, what is the only way I maybe lose this? I think if I don't kill this Basculegion here, and I maybe gets paralyzed or something like that. Okay, Basculegion goes down, and that pretty much seals the game. Because this Sneasler should go down here. And it does. And Pelipper just does not have a way to withstand the power that is Basculegion, so probably gonna forfeit, but maybe not. We'll see. And yes, battle has ended due to a forfeit. And that is the power of this team. You're able to just very easily put your opponents in very awkward positions. So, gonna get a win to start off the day, which feels nice. I don't really have a goal for this at all. It's more so I just want to kind of showcase a fun team. Maybe, you know, do a little bit well. But, alright. Gonna have a Frostlass Lucario team. 2 possible megas with those. Incineroar, female Basculegion, and then Ninetales and Sneasler. So, I definitely think that this is a Aegislash bring, but I think do I ever disguise my Zoroark as Aegislash with something like this? I don't think so. I think it's just a little too weak. I don't think Zoroark is a bring here. I could do this as my lead, and potentially double protect with... I definitely am bringing Aegislash here. And then for the last mon, it's probably Basculegion in the back, just because everything except Incineroar dies to a Last Respects endgame. So I think it's this, but this is a tough team, I feel, to pull. But, I mean, Mega Lucario does do a lot here for me. And just getting up a Tailwind puts me in a pretty good spot, and I think they timed out. I think they're about to get a random selected Pokemon to bring with them, which, I mean, I'm not mad for. So, we'll see. Basculegion, Ninetales lead. With my Lucario Whimsicott lead. So, instantly, I'm thinking about just ripping a Flash Cannon into Ninetales, trying to take it down. Yeah, I'm not too worried, just because I can Tailwind. Wick Claw? That's terrifying. Depending on what they chose here, I might end up just going down instantly. Something like a Hydro Pump, I think, probably ends up killing me. Okay, Tailwind. Okay, Ice Beam. That is perfectly fine. We also live and get a Berry proc here. And this kind of just puts this Basculegion in an awkward spot the rest of the time. And if this isn't Focus Sash, it just dies. Sick. So, don't need to worry about Ninetales anymore for the rest of the game. No Aurora Veil. Except for maybe if Mega Frostlass is also using it, but... because I'm able to outspeed here... I'm trying to think. Do I ever Encore this Basculegion into only being able to use Ice Beam? I think so, right? I think accepting that Whimsicott going down here is fine, and Lucario being my main source of damage for at least a little bit is okay. So, here's Mega Frostlass. Gonna Encore this Basculegion into using Ice Beam still. Importantly, Quick Claw did not go off, and that's a dead Frostlass as well. So, their Mega's gone, their Aurora Veil Setter's gone, they're forced to Ice Beam, they can't switch out anymore. And I think here, I just want to bring in my Basculegion to KO theirs. Before they're able to get out of only using Ice Beam. So, Incineroar could be slightly annoying. Sneasler, though, I don't think there's anything they can do. I just do this Last Respects Flash Cannon. If they don't fake out Lucario, I essentially am guaranteed this win. I think I'm guaranteed this win regardless without, like, Quick Claw, Ice Beam, Freeze, and fake out into Lucario, and no Quick Claw proc, so Basculegion's gonna die, and very likely this Sneasler is going down here as well to Flash Cannon, unless it is Focus Sashed. Oh, wow, super bulky Sneasler. I don't think I've ever had a Sneasler survive that Flash Cannon before. Maybe not super bulky, but at least a little bit of bulk. Or just very low potential roll, but it doesn't matter here. I just go Aegislash. They don't have a way to hit me. And I can just Shadow Sneak, Last Respects. There's nothing they can do about this. Upper Hand will fail on Aegislash, and that is game. Didn't even need to use Aegislash, which looked like it would have been the MVP here, just because of how good the Lucario Whimsicott was. And I mean, I did get a little lucky. They did lock into Ice Beam pretty early, or on that first turn, instead of go after the Lucario slot. You know, if they instead win for something like a Hydro Pump or Wave Crash, things could have gotten a lot scarier, a lot faster. Here, we got Glassy. Looks like this is probably a Megazard team of some kind. Kangaskhan as well. I think Lucario Zoroark looks pretty decent here with a Whimsicott bluff and Basculegion in the back. I'm not too scared of this Zard because of the lack of Venusaur. And I think this gives me... I'm not thinking too hard on this right now, but I just don't see them being able to do a whole lot against me here, personally. But, you know, maybe I should have thought a little harder about it. But Snorlax, Machamp lead. Why did it just say... Oh, it says Zoroark for me. It says Whimsicott for them. So here, I think I just protect and instantly... I think just getting a Bitter Malice onto this Machamp makes a lot of sense. Especially since this Machamp is like the only real threat to Lucario, and weakening it early seems good. So, gonna be able to protect here. See what they go for with either one of these Mons. And yeah, 2 Bitter Malices will kill this Machamp. Fire Punch into the Lucario slot. No Dynamic Punch. And very rough for them. They did get bluffed by my Whimsicott. 2 Bitter Malices into Machamp definitely should, if not kill, make sure that Lucario survives. And Aura Sphere likely to one-hit KO this Snorlax. We do miss out on the roll on the Machamp, but no kill here, which a little surprising, but Ice Punch into Zoroark, which is not a problem. Only thing that's maybe a little scary is something like a Body Slam Paralysis. And again, they just don't understand that this is Hisui and Zoroark. Now they definitely do, but there's not a whole lot that they can do about it. Here, it's actually... this is maybe a little bit of a throw, but so long as this Machamp goes down, I'm not too scared of Lucario taking a little bit of a hit. And getting a nasty plot up can put me in a really good situation into this potential Megazard that's coming out in a second, I feel. It is Earthquake, so I do take a bit of damage that I wasn't ready for, but I'm not gonna die. And then here, it's gonna be Dragonite, so I want to protect and just Hyper Voice here. This breaks Multiscale. If they protect, I don't think I'm in that bad of a situation either. So yeah, I think just breaking Multiscale here is very good. I could have Icy Winded, but I think that this Snorlax needs to go down this turn. And if Lucario does go, or sorry, if Zoroark goes down here, I think that's something that I'm fine with, just because Whimsicott's able to come in and take its place. So they do Fire Blast, they're not going to be able to hit it, and so long as this isn't something faster than Zoroark, I think I'm okay to just knock this out next turn. It is Kangaskhan. Kangaskhan makes this a little tricky, but if this is Timid Dragonite, I'm in a little bit of trouble. And if they Scrappy Fake Out into Zoroark, but if it's not exactly that, I think I'm fine, and they don't do it, so this Dragonite is going to, even if it was timid, it now gets outsped from Lucario. And now I'm able to always kill this Kangaskhan next turn. It is going to be Earthquake, so I will have both Lucario and Zoroark go down here, but I don't think that that's that big of a problem, just because it is Whimsicott and Basculegion, and like I can now walk them into Earthquaking the rest of the game. So definitely want to encore here just in case they click Sucker Punch. Whimsicott maybe outspeeds it, and if not, if they lock in the Sucker Punch, I should just be able to Moonblast it down. So, yep, okay. They are gonna get encored, so they have to Earthquake again, and Wave Crash, I think, just ends up picking up the kill here, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And that is game. Little scary. Probably should have just taken the KO on the Snorlax earlier, but I was scared if it was Mega Charizard, why in the back? I felt like having that extra power boost just would have allowed me to, no matter what, get into range of Basket Legion later. So it was a little sketchy, but it ended up working out in the long run. And so far, we are 3-0 right now. So this team is doing better than I thought it would. I knew it was strong, but this has felt much stronger than before. Yeah. Got a match into... Alright, this is a Mega Archaludon team. So here... Lucario, Whimsicott is a good lead, and Lucario Zoroark disguised as Whimsicott. Actually, I could do this or this. Last Respects is definitely the move that I need to set up for. I don't think Sneasler is going to be able to do that much against me. Able to encore... Sorry, hold on. I need to make sure I'm disguising Zoroark as Lucario. I think that this is a good team for this exact scenario. Rain typically is not that strong against me, so... And it's gonna be Gyarados Sneasler lead. Here, I think Protect and maybe Hyper Voice or Bitter Malice into Gyarados. I think Bitter Malice into Gyarados makes enough sense. And Fake Out does not affect me. So, Bitter Malice is going to be able to do a big chunk to Gyarados. It was thanks to a crit, but that is still really good. And now this Gyarados is locked into Dragon Dance potentially. Also, just no attack boost thanks to that Bitter Malice play. I think Icy Wind here now makes a lot of sense. Being able to get rid of this Sneasler, the Sneasler's Unburden is able to put me in a really good scenario for later. So I'll be able to encore into Sneasler here now, and then I can always live this turn now against Gyarados thanks to my Focus Sash, as well as put them in a very awkward position here. So White Herb does go off, so it is Unburden boosted, but it's not going to be able to do a whole lot. And they Waterfall into Whimsicott, which I don't think is ever the play. Here, I think I'm fine with just Hyper Voice and Moonblasting, because I don't think this Gyarados is going to be able to do a whole lot. They stay in with the Sneasler, end up using Struggle, and this might just end up killing. Sneasler won't be going down here, which is actually good for me. It forces them to either switch out the Sneasler or just struggle again next turn. So the Sneasler is big dead weight, and because they have not tried to hit into the Zoroark slot either, I'm still in a really good position for the end game. I think just Moonblast and Bitter Malice into the Pelipper slot makes a lot of sense here as well. And Sneasler just gonna end up taking itself down. Focus Sash is broken finally, but it's not that big of a deal. If Pelipper uses Tailwind here, I can just Tailwind next turn and guarantee that I'm faster for the rest of the game. Big damage with Bitter Malice. Moonblast might just straight up kill. And if that is the case, I think I, again, just also still end up winning, and it does kill. If Archaludon is their final mon, they just do not have enough power in the back, and I think that this is just already said and done, but it is going to be Archaludon. Moonblast and probably just Icy Wind. In case that this is Scarfed or something, it is not. So that is going to reduce its speed. This makes sure that Lucario will be outspeeding it later. And Aura Sphere will be able to pick up the KO later, but we might not even need to see it happen. Archaludon already at 44%. One more turn and it will go down. And they are going to Flash Cannon into Whimsicott. It's done more than enough this game, though. So that is completely fine. And Lucario going to be able to come in and clean up this mess. It is leftovers, as we can see there. And here comes the Mega Lucario to finish the game off with an Aura Sphere. If Bitter Malice doesn't crit. If Bitter Malice crits, this game is just over right here and now. But here comes the Mega Lucario. We've already seen how much damage it's able to do. Bitter Malice going to come out isn't enough. Just barely not, but it doesn't matter because Lucario will be guaranteed to outspeed here, use that Aura Sphere, and take down the Archaludon. And we are 4-0 right now, which is crazy. Gonna be able to defeat Tai. And yeah, we are on a 4-win streak right now. And okay. This team, like, I hope I've been able to show, it is just super, super strong, especially with how common Rain is. Again, fighting another Rain team. This one is a bit trickier because there is a Mega Floette, there is a Sinistra, and a Maushold, so it's not as free as some of the other ones, but I think, again, just a Zoroark lead, maybe Zoroark, Lucario, Whimsicott, Basculegion maybe, or maybe Aegislash. Aegislash looks better simply because of the Floette, Sinistra, maybe the Tyranitar, and then Basculegion to end. I don't think I need Tailwind. Maybe it gets a little scary if the Pelipper sets up a Tailwind, but I don't think I care enough. Encore doesn't look that crazy good. I think that this is what I go with here. And I feel like Hisuian Zoroark is a really good disguise as well. Plus, this is Pelipper and Tyranitar, which is just a very awkward dual weather. And it's going to be Archaludon Pelipper to start with, so here, I think Hyper Voice and not Flash Cannon. Aura Sphere. Maybe could Icy Wind, actually. But, yeah, I think Icy Wind, actually, to reduce the speed of the Archaludon, just in case. They could protect Archaludon and Tailwind here, but I think they're too scared that maybe I brought a, okay, Icy Wind misses the Archaludon. That is the wrong thing. We now need to hope that this is Stamina Archaludon and not Sturdy. And it is Stamina, so instantly their biggest threat is gone. And Tailwind does go up. This is a Pelipper at -1 speed. And now the game is just stall out these Tailwind turns, but also try and get this Pelipper in a scenario where it's not able to do anything later. Sinistra? I don't think Sinistra does enough here for them. I'm gonna do it like this, just in case. If they Matcha Gotcha, I'm not scared. If they Rage Powder, I'm not scared. I get damage on the Pelipper. I maybe just kill the Sinistra with Flash Cannon. Probably not, but there's a chance. And they Strength Sap into my Zoroark, which they still think is a Basculegion. And now this Pelipper is in range to die next turn. Sinistra isn't, but... oh my gosh, dude. The fact that this Zoroark is still disguised. Okay, Lucario does lose its accuracy, but... I really like Icy Winding here, and maybe just protecting. Because they can't Shadow Ball me. So if they have Matcha Gotcha, this is maybe a little weird, but... I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Lucario's going to be able to protect here. There's no way with Feint or anything like that. Again, Sinistra Strength Sapping into a Zoroark slot, just not doing a whole lot. And I'm able to Icy Wind here. And I'm hoping they Hurricaned into the Lucario slot, and they did. Nice, so I can take down this Pelipper next turn, which is also last turn of Tailwind. Yeah. So, their Tailwind will go down here, unless they protect Pelipper, and then it still ends up going down next turn. And Lucario maybe outspeeds the Sinistra now, but I don't think it does. Zoroark almost definitely does, though, after that Icy Wind. And obviously I can miss this Flash Cannon, but I don't think it matters too much currently. And again, this Pelipper is like the main thing that I want to get rid of. Okay. Rage Powder here is fine. Bitter Malice going to be able to take down this Sinistra. Oh, actually doesn't. That's a little surprising. Flash Cannon does miss, so this is maybe worst case. Hurricane, though, into the Lucario slot. It will go down. I don't think that's a big deal. Since this turn, I can go into Aegislash, which I can Shadow Sneak into the Sinistra, and Bitter Malice into Pelipper. And even if they Rage Powder, they can't stop this play from happening. The other thing with Triple Ghost is how bad Fake Out is into this team. Okay, no Rage Powder, which I do think is the correct play from them. But Sinistra is going to be able to go down here. And Bitter Malice almost guarantees this KO. And there we go. And now, whatever their last mon is, I don't think they have enough. Archaludon's gone. All their water and ghost resists, I believe, are gone now. Rain is gone. It's Tyranitar. Interesting. I was not expecting Tyranitar last, so I don't think it matters that much, but just in case, I'm gonna still play this smart. King Shield, in case of something like a knockoff, it's Mega Tyranitar, so reducing the attack here will be nice for me. Oh yeah, I truly do think that so long as this Bitter Malice goes off, they just do not have enough steam left in the tank. Because I still have a full HP Basket Legion in the back still. And just weakening. Interesting. Okay, they maybe... How do I play this then? Because I was not expecting that. I can Icy Wind, but I don't think I want to in case of the mischance. I think this just... I need to just put this thing in range of Aqua Jet, which should be around like 60%, I think, with Basket Legion. Adamant Basket Legion, even if, unless it's like crazy defense invested. And just keeping this thing's attack low should help. It's still slower than Zoroark, which means it's still slower than Basket Legion. Knockoff, we end up living. We lose the spell tag, which is not a big problem. Ironhead might just straight up kill here. I am Adamant max attack. It doesn't kill, but it might as well have, because this turn I can Hyper Voice, which is my highest damaging attack, and they forfeit. And that's... Yep. We are on a 5-win streak with this team. The Mega Lucario team is just too much for people to handle. Cthulhu. The thing is, I need to remember, the further I go, the better opponents I will be facing. So... Interesting. We have a Meganium, Sableye, Archaludon, Rain team. Lucario's really good here. It's maybe... Do I not bring Zoroark is the question. I think I bring Zoroark, but unironically, it might be in the back? Or it is this. I kind of want Encore here, though. And Zoroark almost always can come in before Basket Legion does. I think this is the right play, but it is a sketchy play. There's ways that I can lose this off of a bad turn 1 and bad turn 2. But... Meganium Sableye. Instantly. What do they want to do here? They could quash into the Lucario slot. I think delaying my Mega to bluff that maybe this is Zoroark is still good here. This only backfires if they Weather Balled into the Whimsicott slot. Okay, they reflect. So I could have just flash cannoned. Ooh, I'm really hoping they Weather Balled into the Lucario slot. Okay. Problem is Encore now, right? I think I just have to accept that they maybe Encore my Lucario, or quash my Lucario, and it dies. And if that happens... Okay, Light Screen, which will probably keep Meganium alive here, but I think just getting this big damage onto it... Yeah. Without a way to heal that damage off anymore, and with Sableye going down, which is their only way to set up rain, Archaludon's not scarier, or not that scary in the back anymore. Oh. One second. Hey, Mom. A little bit, yes. Oh, you still there? Yeah, we hear you now. Oh. Yeah. Well, that was still the best way to do that for me. No, because today is essentially my Sunday, because yesterday was my other day off, but I am working a 10-hour shift tomorrow, because it's Shoshone prom night. So, but the whole night, my whole shift, I'm getting paid $3 extra. Sorry about that, my mom called me. Okay. Here? Bitter Malice and probably just Moonblast. Keep this Meganium at least slightly low. I don't think... This Meganium getting back a lot of its health is a little scary, because I did not consider the Sinistra factor, but I think, like, they have to switch Meganium out. They switch Sinistra out. Interesting. And it is Archaludon last. Yeah, that's fine. Bitter Malice. Oh, this is a scary scenario. Still has to Encore though, right? Oh, I did forget about screens. Reflect being gone is really important. I think I just continue doing what I'm doing like this. Okay. This is fine. Our Chaladon gets healed, but it can't get back to full, which is important. The problem is that because it's stamina, this is getting stronger and stronger. I really should have protected the Lucario better. Flash Cannon into Whimsicott. I'm dead. The one good thing is that they cannot Electroshock me. I think I have to do this though, and if they play this right, because Zoroark is slower than my Basculegion. Ooh, I think I might have lost. Okay. Decent damage. Need to kill you. They do try to Electroshock, so I can guarantee kill our Chaladon next turn, but I don't even think I need to. The problem is I need to guess if this Meganium is going to try and heal, or not heal, protect. If this Meganium protects, Bitter Malice doesn't kill, and I lose the game off of that. If this Meganium doesn't protect, Basculegion goes down, and I die off of that. Regardless, I think I need to play to them protecting Meganium. They didn't protect Meganium. Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't Solar Beam into me. Dang! They played that right. That was a 50-50. They either protected there and I lost, or they didn't protect and I lost. I mean, there's still like a very small chance, but I don't think... Oh, maybe I should have hyper-voiced there. Because that would have gave me a little bit more chip on the Meganium here and put it potentially in crit range. Yeah, that's what I should have done last turn instead of Bitter Malice. Yeah, I need to somehow live this and crit next turn. I don't think it's happening. Yeah, there was a 50-50 there, and I guessed wrong. Because if they protect and I last respected into Meganium, Zoroark doesn't pick up the kill it doesn't pick up the kill with Bitter Malice, and the same scenario occurs, so... I tried my best. First loss, 5 wins in a row and a narrow loss off a 50-50 endgame, I think I'm fine with. Okay. Loette, Sneasler, just very generic team here. Do I... Maybe it's this. Is it ever this? I think that's too weak end game. Is it ever this, then? No. I think I accept that. I think I do this. Tailwind goes a long way here, and I think I need it to deal with this team. I need Lucario. Maybe it is Lucario lead, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. I think I led wrong. I think I did need to lead Whimsicott Lucario. Yeah, Whimsicott Lucario would have been so much better into this. I can, though, at the very least, protect here and Hyper Voice, maybe? It gives me a little bit of chip. And if they fake out and try and set up with something like Calm Mind, I'm in a decent spot. If they Light of Ruin, I survive. They withdraw. Okay. I don't think that was the right play for them. Protect. Fake out. Okay. Tailwind Icy Wind goes a long ways here as well. I know I'm putting both Whimsicott and Zoroark in a sketchy scenario here, but reducing Garchomp's speed, especially if it's a potential Scarfmon, and having Tailwind for the next few turns is really good. They withdraw Incineroar, which is really good for me. Rotom, which is probably the choice Scarfmon. I can set up Tailwind now. Icy Wind, going to be able to go through. Hits both. Garchomp, going to die next turn. And Earthquake. I'm going to be fine here. Nothing dies. And I outspeed this next turn. It's leftovers Rotom, so I was wrong on the set, but I don't think that changes anything. I think I just do Hyper Voice and Moonblast into the Rotom, because now, like, Whimsicott is in an okay spot going into next turn. They probably kill the Zoroark here, but is that even a problem? I don't think it is. Garchomp switches. Floette's now going to be taking some damage that it doesn't want to take. And I get, I guess, Volt Switch. If they Volt Switch into the Zoroark, it's a little sketchy. It's Electroweb. This is fine. Electroweb does nothing against me. Because now I get to bring in my Lucario and I get to threaten big damage again. But I outspeed. They likely protect here, but I think I need to play as if they aren't. Alternatively, hold on. I have 2 more turns of Tailwind. Is it ever just Mega Evolve and Protect? I think it is, and I think getting damage on this Rotom is important. The only way that this backfires is if they, like, Light of Ruin into Whimsicott, because then I can't stall out for another Tailwind. Okay. I think they're protecting here, are they not? I need them to protect here. Yes! We got the right guess. Because now Electroweb can't make me slower anymore. And so that it didn't even matter. Big crit. Thank you, Wim. Not actually big crit, but like big enough. Because here I can Encore them into Protect and Aura Sphere into Incin, and oh, maybe it's Flash Cannon into Floette actually. Okay, we're fine. Because now they're stuck to Protect for the next turn. Oh, Encore, you are such a good move. I love you. I love you so much, Encore. I love you. Because now I get to set up another Tailwind. And Aura Sphere into the Lucario, or the Incineroar slot, I mean. So now Incin's dead, or it switches to Garchomp, which is dead. I have another Tailwind, they have no more speed control. And Floette dies to a, to whatever it is called later. Aura Sphere into Incin. It's dead. Okay, yeah. I was gonna say, there's still a way I can lose it with it being the Garchomp still. But like, I did so much damage to the Garchomp. I don't know, very unlikely for me to lose, I'll say. Okay, we're at 7 battles. We have won 6 out of those 7 battles. And interesting team. Not a Sand team, but it does have Excadrill. So I think it's Mega Excadrill. This is my initial thought process. Zoroark lead. Maybe this. This is just such like a good mixture of Mons, but maybe it's Kingambit, maybe it's Gyarados. I mean, Gyarados doesn't do bad here, it just doesn't do enough. Fast enough, I think. Especially since they have... Oh, I messed up. It's not meant to be lead Basculegion, it's meant to be lead Whimsicott. This is bad. This is a bad lead for me. Okay, Milotic Tinkaton. It's not as bad as it could have been now. Just Hyper Voice, Flip Turn, probably. Okay. I can now Encore this Milotic into doing nothing next turn. Tinkaton, what are you pressing? Knockoff, that's fine. There's something to be said about locking Tinkaton into Knockoff, but I don't think That's what I want to do. I think I want to encore this Milotic. Milotic Sleep is like the big X factor for them. So, locking them out of being able to really do anything is big. Doesn't kill the Tinkaton. And they... Oh, Hisui and Zoroark. Always Hyper Voice here, right? What's in the back again for their team? Yeah, always Hyper Voice in case they want to switch Milotic or something out. And then I think I just bring Basket Legion back in, right? I don't see a reason why not to. I don't think saving Tinkaton makes any sense. Like, I just Hyper Voice Flip Turn here, right? It, like, Basket Legion gets burned, I don't think it matters. Okay, Volcarona protects. I think that's fine. They get the double protect, so I'm not doing any damage this turn, which is annoying, but like... Encore ends, which is, I think, the biggest problem. But if it doesn't end... Okay, it does end here. But I can just do this. And Volcarona dies. Or they switch, and then something else takes big damage. How dare you, Faust. Okay, Hyper Voice, deal a lot of... Whoa, that's way more damage than I thought I'd get. Icy Wind, I mean, it's annoying, but it's not a problem. I've already done enough damage to this Milotic to put it in range of... Oh, it is Leftovers, Milo. Never mind. I was not expecting Icy Wind, but that means it's likely not the set I was worried about. And here, I just Bitter Malice Tailwind.
Come in here.
Yes, I'm playing a competition right now.
Hunter, I found a tiny Babu friend. Dumbest Star Wars character ever.
And it is our favorite for no fucking reason. I saw that one going to the Lego section of Walmart. I died of laughter while people were next to me, and I was like, I do not care, I am bringing this home. Also, I got myself a capture card so I can stream Pokemon.
Nice. I got myself, nothing
really. Maybe not actually.
Yeah.
If you're fine with it.
I don't know how blasted you're gonna get off of it. Are you prepared to take it tonight, or would you like it another time? We'll be high for probably 3.5 hours.
Tonight, I don't give a fuck.
And it might be...
Let me finish Pokemon.
Okay. If it becomes intense, it should become intense. One gummy, you'll probably feel really fun. 2 gummies, you might go a little crazy. I'll give you one since it's your first time. It'll probably take 20 or 30 minutes to feel it.
Never tried before?
I have not, no.
Well, you and I are gonna trip together for a couple hours. You want?
Mandalorian with tiny Babu freaking high as shit.
If you'd rather not, then
Okay, sorry, my brother came in with with gummies. Icy Wind. Icy Wind, Last Respects, because this puts me in a very good position. I'll explain later, Faust. I'll use my camera. Just give me a second. Protect Volcarona does nothing. Last Respects probably just kills. Doesn't kill, but I don't think it matters. I don't see how they get out of this. Earthquake? Oh, damn, okay. That crit nearly mattered. Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, Mega Lucario cleans this up, I'm pretty sure, but Jesus. Always have to Mega, always have to attack into you, always have to Last Respects Volcarona. Volcarona will Rage Powder, I will Last Respects into the Volcarona, killing it, and then Mega Lucario will kill with Aura Sphere. That is how his turn always goes. If they don't... Get Mega Evolve, get Mega Lucario. Last Respects. A lot of these Pokemon I got from just other Pokemon games and transferring them from Pokemon Home. Okay. Jesus, man. That was a scary game. Because I got distracted for a while. Okay. I've won 7 out of 8 games today. I have 7 more to play, which I'll probably do a little later. But let me just back out slightly. I'll do a very quick overview of this team. Yeah, Pokemon Bank. Slash I think it's called Pokemon Home is what it's now called, but what was Pokemon Bank, now Pokemon Home. This is my team. It is very, 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 very fucking strong. I have won 7 out of 8 games in the Global Challenge, which is essentially a mini tournament right now. People can only use whatever team they decide to bring, and my team does well currently into like every single team that I have fought. I have not fought a team that was like an auto loss. I have fought one team that beat me, and they won off of me needing to make a 50-50 guess, and I guessed wrong. The way you get Pokemon in this game is through the recruit function, and you get 1 free recruit each day, and then otherwise you use, if you look at the top right corner, the thing that says VP, you'll, like, as you can see, 7,000 VP down to 5,000 VP for recruit. There's also little tickets. I don't have any right now, but that's another way. Like, this is the main way that you get Pokemon. This one just gives you everything in the game right now. Like, you can randomly, you get 10 Pokemon at random out of this roster of potential Pokemon. And then this one is a more focused one of like 30-ish Pokemon, 30 to 40-ish Pokemon. So that's like kind of how I guess you get Pokemon in this, is you just get them a little bit at random. If you don't have any other Pokemon games, but this gives a lot of the really strong Pokemon like Archaludon, Farafrig, Incineroar, Basculegion, Talonflame. There's a lot of good stuff here. Pretty much everything on here is pretty decent. Yeah, essentially like a gacha game. Is how you get it if you don't have other Pokemon games. If you do have other Pokemon games, though, you can just collect them from Pokemon Home. I don't have any right now that I've sent, because you have to do it from Pokemon Home first. But, the overview of the team, because I'm gonna probably take a little bit of a break. You caught me at a bad time, Faust, I will be honest. I was already planning on ending for at least now, for like 2 to 3-ish hours. I was gonna go live again in a few hours, but that was wrong. A mini overview of the team. Just again, I did a bigger overview, but that was at the start of the stream. I'll do another one here. This team is really strong because Mega Lucario, special attacking Mega Lucario, does super well into the best Mega in the game currently, which is Mega Floette, as well as deals massive damage to pretty much everything in the game. It one-hit KOs King Gambit, even if it's holding a berry that resists fighting moves. Aura Sphere still just one-hit KOs it. It's very hard to slow down. It deals a ton of damage. Zoroark is able to disguise as any of my other 5 Pokemon, and with that, because I have 3 Ghost types, but I also have a Fighting Steel type, a Pokemon called Sneasler, which is really good as well. It's the second most used Pokemon right now. Does not do well against Zoroark, but it does well into Lucario, but Zoroark is able to make its life a living hell. Aegislash is amazing into Sneasler. It also is just really good into... It's also good into Mega Floette. So, like, almost all my Pokemon are good into the best Pokemon in the game right now, and also have options into a lot of the more random niche Pokemon. Pokemon like Tyranitar, Lucario deals with. Pokemon like, I have a decent amount here. Incineroar, Lucario kills. Frostlass dies to Lucario, Zoroark, Basculegion, Aegislash, so long as I have, like, a Tailwind up. Like, I'm just able to do a ton. You can do from Pokemon Go. I did forget about that. You can send Pokemon Go to Pokemon Home, and then Pokemon Home to Champions. You can do that. Sorry, I didn't see that until now. You can get Pokemon from Pokemon Go. It's just not all the Pokemon in Pokemon Go are in Pokemon Champions. There's like a select roster in Pokemon Champions right now. But Aegislash is able to be a good late game attacker, good against a lot of slower Mons. Its only bad matchup is Aegislash, but Aegislash doesn't like Lucario, and so like it struggles to do a whole lot against me. Basculegion is like the best late game cleaner in the game. This thing one-hit KOs pretty much everything unless it resists one or both of its attacks. Whimsicott gives me speed control and disruption with Encore, so like I can Encore something into using Protect or Fake Out forever, and Lucario can focus into another slot, or Zoroark can start setting up, or start using like Icy Winds or Bitter Malices and just dealing damage, or Basculegion can kill things, or I can set up Swords Dances or kill things with Aegislash. And Gyarados is literally only here for Mega Charizard Y teams that also have Venusaur, which I have not run into yet. This was a last-minute addition, and I don't think it's actually very good for what my team is meant to do, but it's the only thing. I didn't have another Pokemon that I was going to use instead. Over time, they will add more Pokemon, I'm sure of it. But as of right now, there's like roughly, it's like 180-ish Pokemon, I believe. Let me see if I can find how many Pokemon in Pokemon. 186 playable Pokemon in Pokemon Champions right now. And over time they have already said that they will add more. Slash change the roster up. So like some formats you might not be able to use certain Pokemon that were legal in a different format, which isn't like crazy new. That's a decently well-known thing with Pokemon, I would say. Generation to generation and regulation from regulation, but there's yeah, you can over time they will definitely add more Pokemon, but I don't want to click train. Whoops. But yeah, this team just does so much. I nuke things so quickly. But probably the two weakest mons on this team are Aegislash and Gyarados, because they're here to counter specific Pokemon teams instead of while my go-tos are Lucario, Zoroark, Basculegion, and Whimsicott. But my brother brought the dumb thing from earlier. Let me just let me do one thing real quick. Okay. Pretty much the thing from the store that I found that I had to get, because me and my brother are obsessed with this dumb alien from Star Wars. God damn it, which one? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Undo capture. Give me 1 second. It'll get there. It's this thing. Babu Frick. I found a weird little thing from the store. But anyways, that's all I wanted to show was that. And in terms of MVP for this team, it's hard to say. Zoroark does a lot for this team. Like Zoroark and Whimsicott and Lucario, these three are able to throw off opponents so easily, so quickly, that it's very hard for them to kind of fight back against it. Like some games, Whimsicott's the MVP because of Tailwind and Encore being able to set up for kills for Lucario. Other times it's Zoroark because Icy Wind is able to slow down opponents or is able to get them to click moves that Whimsicott can Encore. Other times it's Basculegion because this mon literally just blows things up. It is not okay. This is an insane Pokemon. This thing literally is a nuke. It blows things up because of adaptability. Lucario also blows things up because when it Mega Evolves, it also gets adaptability. So like both of my damage dealers are Lucario, Basculegion. So they're my MVPs because they take KOs. Whimsicott and Zoroark are MVPs because they set up the field to where Basculegion and Lucario can take insane KOs. Aegislash is not that great, but it is great in certain situations. and I've literally yet to need to use Gyarados. Yeah, the character from Star Wars, this guy though, he is not good. This is the dumbest little thing of all time, but me and my brother love it. But yeah. Like... And it looks like Lucario doesn't hit that much stronger than Zoroark, but this does not take into account it Mega Evolving and getting way more stats in Special Attack, and its ability being Adaptability. Yes. Pretty much everything here I maxed 2 stats of. Because I didn't want to think too hard when building this team. This is like the only Mon that I've used that is not 2 stats maxed out. It's 1 max stat and then 2 others decently high. I guess there's a few in here. This is much more balanced, I guess. But... like, this was my first team because I just didn't have a lot in this game. This is the team I'm currently using, and it is just insane. But anyways, I'm going to stop streaming for now. I'll probably be back in a couple of hours, but I gotta take a little bit of a break. And yeah, I'll probably be back later. And then tomorrow... I might stream, I might not. It's hard to say. I work a 10-hour shift tomorrow, which is gonna suck. But maybe I stream after. I work at 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. So I'm just gonna be dead afterwards, though. So it's hard to tell. And then I'll probably be streaming Sunday. And then Monday is my birthday, and I don't know if I'm going to be streaming yet or not for that. But, don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet for, like, streams for that. I want to stream all my Global Challenge games, though, so I will try to do things tonight and later, tomorrow and Sunday. But we'll see. But anyways, yeah, that's going to do it for me tonight. Or at least